They often say that behind every great man stands a supportive woman. Well, in some cases, she's standing right alongside him, keeping tabs on her billions. While we're out here stretching dollars to last until payday, Mackenzie Scott transformed a broken heart into a fortune. Abigail Johnson oversees amounts of money by midday that most of us couldn't fathom earning in a lifetime. Julia Koch inherited a fortune so vast it puts even trust fund babies to shame, and Savitri Jindal commands an industrial empire so colossal it makes a typical 9 to 5 look like a neighborhood lemonade stand. Feeling financially inferior yet? Let's take a closer look at the world's richest wives. Françoise Bettencourt Meyers, $75 billion. Meet Françoise Bettencourt Meyers, the wife of Jean-Pierre Meyers and granddaughter of Eugene Schuller. She's not just linked to money, she is the embodiment of wealth. As the billionaire heiress to the L'Oreal empire, her net worth hovers around the staggering $100 billion mark. That's not just pocket change. It's the kind of wealth that could buy a small nation and christen it in honor of her go-to lipstick shade. Her 33% ownership in L'Oreal ensures she rakes in dividends that could leave even a Swiss banker feeling intensely jealous. Born in 1953, Françoise didn't just come into a fortune. She inherited a legacy steeped in chemical innovation, courtesy of her grandfather, Eugene Schuller, and a seat at the table of intense boardroom disputes as a member of the Bettencourt dynasty. Beyond her financial acumen, she's also showcased her intellectual prowess, penning works that reveal her comfort navigating everything from theological discussions to analyzing L'Oreal's market value. Naturally, vast family fortunes rarely come without their share of turmoil, and the Bettencourt clan's disputes could rival the drama of a hit soap opera. Front and center was the notorious legal saga involving François-Marie Baynier, a scandal valued at 1.3 billion euros, involving cash, art, and life insurance schemes. That's billion with a capital B, the sort of money you don't accidentally lose behind a couch cushion. After her mother's passing in 2017, Françoise saw her wealth grow exponentially, thanks not only to inheritance, but also to savvy investments and L'Oreal's impressive financial success. By 2023, the company reported revenues of 41 billion euros, proving once again that people will always shell out money in pursuit of youthfulness, or at the very least, fewer wrinkles. Yet, Françoise isn't merely stockpiling her wealth. She's gaining recognition for her philanthropy too. Her $226 million donation to restore Notre Dame made a bold statement. Yes, I'm wealthier than Croesus, but I also believe in safeguarding cultural treasures. That's sufficient to cover a cathedral in gold leaf and still leave enough for a nice bottle of Bordeaux. Françoise Bettencourt Meyers isn't just a regular fixture on the Forbes list. She's a driving force. As a board member of a global powerhouse, a major stakeholder pulling in dividends hefty enough to sustain a small country, and a philanthropist capable of creating meaningful change, or, at the very least, securing favorable press, she's a figure of immense influence. So, next time you swipe on that L'Oreal mascara, take a moment to acknowledge that you're contributing to the wealth of someone who could likely buy your entire life many times over. At least, while you're doing it, you'll be rocking amazing lashes. After all, as L'Oreal so famously declares, you're worth it, even if it's just a minuscule fraction of Françoise's staggering fortune. While Françoise built her empire through beauty and luxury, the next individual on this list owes her wealth to oil, chemicals, and one of America's most prominent private enterprises. Enter Julia Koch, boasting a net worth of $74 billion. As the widow of the late industrial titan David Koch, Julia is living proof that inheriting wealth can be a full-time endeavor, one that places her in the upper echelons of the world's richest women. In this rarefied financial tier, indulgences are the stuff of legend. Born on April 12, 1962, in Indianola, Iowa, as Julia Flesher, she's more than a glamorous figure. This former model graduated with a bachelor's degree in arts and science from the University of Central Arkansas. Long before coming into possession of a 42% stake in Koch Industries, she worked for fashion designer Adolfo, where she even assisted in outfitting Nancy Reagan. Now, that's what you'd call a serious transformation. Julia first crossed paths with David on a blind date back in 1991. 5 years later, they tied the knot. It's a storybook scenario. A young woman from Iowa conquers New York City, weds a billionaire, and becomes the heiress to a sprawling business empire. Together, they had 3 children. The source of her vast fortune, Koch Industries, holds the title of the second largest privately owned company in the United States, with operations spanning energy, manufacturing, and chemicals. It's the kind of diverse enterprise that excites financial planners, but raises eyebrows among environmentalists. Following David's passing in 2019, Julia stepped into a more active role in philanthropy, now presiding over the David H. Koch Foundation. The foundation directs its considerable resources toward promoting health, education, and the arts, a testament to the idea that even the wealthiest individuals recognize the value of supporting what money can't outright buy. Forbes' February 2025 ranking placed her net worth north of $74 billion, though such figures naturally fluctuate. Her status as one of the planet's wealthiest women is firmly established. In April 2023, Forbes placed her as the world's second richest woman. boasting an estimated net worth of $59 billion. Julia Koch shines as a prominent figure in philanthropy in the upper echelons of society. From tailoring gowns for a first lady to overseeing a fortune worth billions, her story is one that would leave even Cinderella envious. While Julia Koch has solidified her legacy through charity and industry, Jacqueline Mars demonstrates that sometimes the sweetest empires are made of chocolate and caramel. Jacqueline Mars, with an impressive $42.5 billion to her name, exemplifies that a candy empire can thrive without a husband, even though being born into one certainly doesn't hurt. Twice divorced and currently single, she has a real-time fortune valued at $42.4 billion, enough to purchase around $84.8 billion worth of Snickers bars, though it's safe to say even she wouldn't attempt to devour them all. Born on October 10, 1939, Jacqueline is the granddaughter of Frank C. Mars, the innovator who launched it all with some humble buttercream confections. One can only imagine the sugar-fueled energy at their family get-togethers. With a degree in anthropology from Bryn Mawr College, she's certainly well-equipped to analyze the deeply rooted cravings that drive humanity's love of chocolate. In 1982, Jacqueline embarked on her career at Mars Incorporated, taking on the position of Food Product Group President, a job that likely blended taste-testing delights with strategic calls about the ideal chocolate-to-peanut ratio. She stepped away from her corporate role in 2001, seemingly to focus on a mix of philanthropy and equestrian interests. After all, when you possess that level of wealth, it's only fitting to pursue hobbies that are both impactful and involve horses. Though the Mars family is notoriously private, Jacqueline has made her mark by publicly championing philanthropic causes, including her support for institutions such as the Smithsonian National Museum of American History. It's an admirable commitment that shows even candy heiresses can indulge in interests beyond sweet treats, though it wouldn't be surprising if she occasionally enjoys a Snickers bar. Estimates of her fortune can vary depending on the source. Bloomberg Billionaires Index placed her net worth at $46.6 billion as of November 2023, while Forbes assessed her wealth at $38.3 billion in its 2023 rundown of the richest women worldwide. Regardless, she's firmly positioned among the planet's wealthiest individuals. Most recently, as of February 12, 2025, Forbes calculated her real-time net worth at $42.4 billion. Jacqueline Mars exemplifies a blend of business acumen and charitable commitment, standing as a reminder that life's sweetest offerings sometimes stem from the privileges of a multi-billion-dollar legacy. While the rest of us are stuck shelling out extra cash for those miniature Snickers bars, she's likely enjoying a lifetime stash of them in her luxurious estate, complete with a stable of horses and top-tier dental care. While Jacqueline Mars built her fortune on candy, our next subject is making a name by giving hers away faster than she amassed it. Enter Mackenzie Scott, worth an impressive $42.1 billion. As the former spouse of Jeff Bezos, the mind behind Amazon's empire stretching from books to blenders, Scott demonstrates that one path to becoming one of the wealthiest women alive is through a well-timed, mutually beneficial divorce. Once standing at a staggering $40 billion, her net worth now hovers near $30 billion after selling off some Amazon shares. In the aftermath of her separation, Scott turned the challenges of divorce into an extraordinary philanthropic mission, one that leaves even the most seasoned donors in awe. Born Mackenzie Tuttle on April 7, 1970, in San Francisco, she is far more than just a billionaire. She's also a novelist with a Princeton degree in English and an intriguing backstory. Before co-piloting Amazon's beginnings, she worked alongside Bezos at the hedge fund D. Shaw, where, ironically, she was assigned to conduct his initial job interview. In a plot twist worthy of corporate lore, the rest, as they say, is history. Back in 1993, the pair got married and left their respective jobs to launch Amazon. After spending 25 years as husband and wife, raising 3 sons, and welcoming an adopted daughter from China into their family, Jeff and Mackenzie revealed their decision to separate in January 2019. A noteworthy point is that there was no prenuptial agreement in place, which makes sense considering Amazon didn't even exist when they wed. The divorce settlement turned heads worldwide. Mackenzie received approximately $38.3 billion in Amazon shares, giving her a 4% ownership in the company. The kind of financial outcome could make any separation seem almost celebratory. Following her split from Jeff Bezos, Mackenzie Scott found love again, this time with Dan DeWitt, a teacher in the sciences, and the two exchanged vows in March 2021. The news left many surprised, as Dan was known for teaching at Seattle's Lakeside School. Sadly, their union didn't last long. By September 2022, Mackenzie had filed for divorce, and their separation was finalized by January 2023. The narrative takes an intriguing twist here. Mackenzie Scott has pledged to allocate the bulk of her immense fortune toward charitable efforts. Through her initiative, Yield Giving, she has already funneled billions into countless organizations. Scott is showcasing that living a fulfilled life and giving selflessly can indeed be the ultimate form of retribution. By consistently making impactful donations, she is reshaping the image of a divorced billionaire. Even though Elon Musk may have thrown shade at her philanthropic pursuits, Scott appears undeterred, pushing ahead with a fervor that leaves many of us feeling thoroughly humbled. Meanwhile, Abigail Johnson, worth $39.8 billion, is another striking example that a husband is not a prerequisite for amassing an empire. Abigail, who shares her life with Christopher J. McCown, the co-founder and head of a healthcare information firm, controls a fortune that would easily leave even the wealthiest in awe. As the head of Fidelity Investments, serving as both CEO and chairperson, she oversees a staggering $39.8 billion enterprise. Born on December 19, 1961, Abigail Johnson came into the world with both a sharp financial instinct and an impressive lineage. Her grandfather laid the foundation for Fidelity management and research, meaning she practically had investing in her blood. While her first academic pursuit led her to earn a bachelor's degree in art history. Because even billionaires need an eye for masterpieces, she later made a strategic move by completing an MBA at Harvard Business School. Johnson's career at Fidelity began humbly in the 1980s, starting out in customer service. It's somewhat reassuring to know she, too, had to navigate tricky customer interactions, although it's likely her grievances were more sophisticated than most. By 2014, she ascended to the role of CEO, succeeding her father, and in 2016, she assumed the title of chairperson, cementing her authority over Fidelity and its workforce of 45,000. Her primary wealth originates from Fidelity Investments. The Johnson family maintains a 49% stake in the business. Abigail has also taken steps to introduce Fidelity to the cryptocurrency arena, paving the way for institutional investors to engage in trading Bitcoin and Ethereum. Abigail Johnson exemplifies how inheriting both a sharp business mind and a multi-billion-dollar family legacy can be a recipe for remarkable wealth. Meanwhile, as many of us struggle to keep our finances in order, she's likely pondering how to allocate her next billion, all while managing life as a wife and mother of two. While Abigail expands her financial dynasty, the next tale highlights another woman's journey to immense wealth, blending inheritance with sharp entrepreneurial instincts. Savitri Jindal, with a staggering $34.3 billion fortune, is a prime example. As the widow of O.P. Jindal and the honorary chair of the O.P. Jindal Group, she demonstrates that joining the ranks of the world's richest can often stem from a blend of inherited assets, strategic business skills, and a touch of industrial resolve, given her family's focus on the steel sector. Currently celebrated as India's richest woman, Savitri's wealth of $34.3 billion would make even the most opulent Maharajas take notice. Born on March 20, 1950, in Tinsukia, Assam, she didn't always seem destined for a spot on the Forbes 50 list. It wasn't until her marriage to O.P. Jindal in the 1970s that her path altered. While her husband built the Jindal Group into a steel and power behemoth, she focused on raising their family and, presumably, familiarizing herself with the intricacies of the business. Following her husband's tragic demise in a helicopter accident in 2005, she assumed leadership of the group, a transition so compelling it could inspire the plot of a Bollywood movie. The Jindal conglomerate boasts a diverse portfolio that spans industries such as steel, power, cement, and infrastructure, a lineup sure to excite financial experts, though likely to draw the ire of environmental advocates. The empire was eventually split among her four sons, with each taking charge of a distinct division, illustrating that even ultra-wealthy families must grapple with the challenges of dividing responsibilities and assets fairly. Jindal also ventured into politics, holding positions as both a minister in Haryana's government and a member of the Haryana Vidhan Sabha. However, she faced a setback in the 2014 elections, losing her seat, a reminder that no amount of wealth can shield anyone from the unpredictability of voter dynamics. As India's wealthiest woman, Jindal shares her status on the global stage with other prominent women in business, such as Françoise Bettencourt-Myers of L'Oreal fame and Alice Walton from Walmart. One can't help but wonder what conversations unfold when figures of such financial power come together. Whether steering through the complexities of the steel business or navigating the often tumultuous arena of Indian politics, Savitri Jindal remains an unstoppable powerhouse. Beyond this, she also serves as the president of Maharaja Agrayson Medical College in Agroha. She demonstrates that inheriting a massive fortune doesn't preclude pursuing ambition, wielding influence, or earning a well-deserved slice of recognition. While Savitri Jindal carves out her own legacy, Miriam Adelson is dedicated to maintaining and expanding the empire and wealth left behind by her late husband. Miriam Adelson, $32 billion. As the widow of the renowned casino tycoon Sheldon Adelson, Miriam Adelson exemplifies the saying that behind every great fortune, there's someone who's inherited it, and might even have a knack for cards that rivals the pros. With an impressive net worth of $32 billion, she stands as the richest Israeli in the world, a figure so staggering it could give pause to even the savviest high-stakes gamblers. Born Miriam Farbstein in 1945 in what was then mandatory Palestine to parents who survived the Holocaust, her life story is far from stereotypical. With a Bachelor of Science in Microbiology and Genetics from the Hebrew University of Jerusalem, followed by a medical degree from the Sackler Faculty of Medicine at Tel Aviv University, Miriam's academic credentials are laudable. Before becoming an influential figure in the casino industry, she served as the chief internist in the emergency department at Tel Aviv's Rokash Hospital. a significant shift from saving lives to managing an empire built on casinos. Miriam first crossed paths with Sheldon in 1989 at Rockefeller University, where she was engaged in research on drug addiction. It just goes to show that even billionaires need companionship, or perhaps someone to share an immense casino empire with, along with the occasional medical consultation after a particularly tough night at the gaming tables. They tied the knot in 1991. The Adelsons became heavyweights in Republican political circles, contributing amounts that could leave even a veteran lobbyist speechless. Miriam played a prominent role by acting as a finance vice chair for Donald Trump's inaugural committee. They poured $75 million into Trump's unsuccessful re-election campaign, a gesture that could either reflect deep-seated political beliefs or stand as one of the priciest gambles ever made. In return, Trump honored Miriam with the Presidential Medal of Freedom, a clear nod to the notion that presidents, too, value a well-heeled benefactor, especially one who might someday fund an interplanetary casino venture. Following Sheldon's passing in 2021, Miriam stepped into his shoes, taking control of his business empire as the primary shareholder of Las Vegas Sands. Beyond that, she owns the Israel Hayom newspaper and, alongside her family, the Las Vegas Review-Journal. Because what's the point of vast wealth without wielding some media sway? It's like dominating all the properties in Monopoly and then acquiring the newspaper to publish glowing headlines. Additionally, she holds a majority stake in the Dallas Mavericks basketball team, collaborating with her son-in-law Patrick Dumont. Miriam Adelson is far from idly sitting on her fortune. Through their Adelson Foundation, Miriam and Sheldon channeled hundreds of millions of dollars toward Jewish and Israeli initiatives, a luxury their immense wealth afforded them, whether out of altruism or a desire to bolster their public image. The Adelsons have amassed roughly $10 billion in dividends from Sands, and in 2008, they personally injected $1 billion to keep the company afloat during its financial turmoil. From combating addiction to swaying the outcomes of presidential elections, Miriam Adelson's influence is monumental. She demonstrates that while money may not guarantee happiness, it can secure other perks, such as political clout, media ventures, ownership of the Dallas Mavericks, and perhaps even a marginally improved blackjack hand. With Miriam continuing to expand her dominion, let's shift our focus to Iris Fontbona, a woman who transformed a strong marital partnership into an enduring dynasty. Iris Fontbona, $25.7 billion. As a widow, Iris proves that tying the knot with the right partner can pave the way for immense fortunes, though her achievements surpass simply being a spouse. Now at the helm of the Luxic family as its matriarch, she commands a Chilean business empire worth an impressive $25.7 billion. Suffice it to say, she won't be scouring for discounts, unless they're for diamond-encrusted dish soap. Born in Chile, likely in either 1942 or 1943, Iris met Andronico Luxic Abaroa at the age of 17. While her future husband was only marginally less scandalously aged, they tied the knot the following year, propelling her into a realm dominated by copper mining operations and intricate financial ventures. For much of her earlier years, Fontbona played a background role in the business arena. She also became stepmother to Andronico's 5 children. After his passing in 2005, she inherited his fortune and gained a controlling stake in Antofagasta, one of the largest global copper mining corporations. This immediately elevated her to the status of the wealthiest individual in Chile, a title she still holds to this day. Her son, Jean-Paul Luxic, oversees operations at Antofagasta plc, a giant in the mining industry worldwide. Meanwhile, the 3 male children assumed responsibility for various parts of the expansive business network. Yet, Fontbona's influence in the corporate world extends far beyond that. She exerts control over a diverse range of ventures through Quinenco, including Banco de Chile, Medico, a copper product manufacturing company, CCU, the country's leading brewery, and CSAV, which ranks as the 16th largest shipping firm globally by TEUs. Her portfolio also includes ownership of luxury hotel chains and a high-end resort in Croatia. If that weren't enough, she has a 70% stake in Canal 13, one of Chile's prominent television stations. In essence, Fontbona remains a central figure in significant business decisions across her holdings, even though her sons handle the daily operations within these enterprises. Although Fontbona possesses immense wealth and influence, she keeps a notably low profile, seldom agreeing to interviews. She divides her time among her homes in Vida, Cura, Santiago, Chile, Belgravia, London, and Liechtenstein. A devout Roman Catholic, she is deeply committed to her faith. Fontbona is also a prominent philanthropist in Chile, making historic contributions to the Chilean Telethon, an initiative supporting children with physical disabilities. In 2015, she donated $1 billion, and the following year, she gave $4 billion, breaking records for the charity event. Moving on, let's talk about Suzanne Klatten, a woman shaping Germany's economy by billions. With a net worth of $24.1 billion, Suzanne Klatten has proven herself far more than just a spouse. She's a force driving a substantial part of the German economy. Her wealth equals or surpasses that of many smaller countries, making her financial influence undeniable. While exact figures may vary slightly across sources, one fact remains consistent. Klatten is firmly established as the richest woman in Germany. Suzanne Hannah Ursula Quandt, born on April 28, 1962, comes from a lineage steeped in automotive prestige. Her father, Herbert, is renowned for pulling BMW back from the edge of collapse and elevating it into the global powerhouse we recognize today. It's almost as if her family history reads like a corporate superhero saga. Yet, Suzanne hasn't relied solely on her inherited fortune. A formidable business leader in her own right, she holds a degree in business finance and an MBA from Lausanne's IMD Business School. Before taking command of major enterprises, she honed her expertise at the advertising firm Young and Rubicam and took a unique path by working under the pseudonym Suzanne Count at various banks and consulting firms, perhaps to sidestep any bias associated with her wealthy heritage. Her wealth largely stems from her significant holdings in BMW, where she owns approximately 21.7% of the common shares, and in the chemical company Altana. Under her guidance, Altana was transformed into a global leader, leading her to eventually secure majority ownership. Beyond her stakes in automobiles and chemicals, Suzanne's portfolio extends further, including investments in SGL Carbon, a graphite manufacturer, and Trust Data Card, a credit card security firm, and Nordex, a turbine development company. This impressive assortment of industries highlights the breadth of her financial intelligence. Her remarkable achievements have not gone under the radar. In 2007, she was awarded the Bavarian Order of Merit. Earlier, in 2004, she was recognized as an honorary senator by the Technical University of Munich, and later, in 2022, she earned an honorary doctorate from the University of Buckingham. That same year, 2017, she secured €504 million by selling her 20.9% stake in shares. Despite her high-profile status, Suzanne Klatten fiercely guards her privacy. Her life, however, hasn't been without challenges, including an infamous blackmail incident in 2007. Klatten is a formidable leader within the business realm, demonstrating how intellect, perseverance, and a strong foundation can lead to extraordinary achievements. While many fantasize about winning life's lottery, she exemplifies how inherited wealth can serve as the starting point, rather than the endgame. Now, shifting focus. Next in line is Queen Rania Al Abdullah, whose influence reaches far beyond regal boundaries. With a net worth of $750 million, Queen Rania Al Abdullah, the wife of King Abdullah II of Jordan, exemplifies how a royal title can be financially rewarding, though perhaps not in the exaggerated way tabloids might claim, unless turning desert sand into treasure is secretly part of the job description. Though some sources attribute her and her husband's collective net worth to be around $750 million, other estimates suggest her individual fortune sits closer to $35 million. Either way, it's safe to say she's financially secure, even if she's not directly propping up Jordan's economy. One thing's for sure, clipping coupons isn't in her future. Born as Rania Al Yassin in Kuwait on August 31st, 1970, to Palestinian parents, she's far more than a royal wearing a glittering crown. Well-versed in technology and finance, she's a modern royal with an eye for numbers. Before joining the ranks of royalty, she held marketing roles, first at Citibank, then at Apple. Talk about a resume upgrade. Her life took a dramatic turn when she met Prince Abdullah bin Al Hussein at a dinner party in January 1993, and just 6 months later, they tied the knot. What began as a whirlwind romance became a lifelong journey filled with royal responsibilities and couture fashion. Since becoming queen in 1999, Rania has risen as a global icon, admired for her dedication to humanitarian causes, advocacy for education, and flawless sense of style. She advocates for progressive initiatives in education, women's empowerment, and youth development, demonstrating that wearing a crown doesn't preclude being a force for positive change. While the financial dealings of the Jordanian monarchy remain somewhat opaque, the Pandora Papers leak in 2021 offered a rare glimpse into their wealth, disclosing that King Abdullah and Queen Rania collectively own at least $140 million in global real estate. Their portfolio includes 3 oceanfront properties in Malibu, California, along with residences in London, Ascot, and Washington, D.C., because even royals occasionally need luxurious getaways to retreat from the burdens of monarchy. It's worth noting, however, that roughly 25% of Jordan's population lives in poverty, casting a shadow of controversy over such extravagant holdings. Queen Rania has also earned numerous accolades, such as a Lifetime Achievement Award from the International Osteoporosis Foundation, reinforcing that strong bones are an asset when donning heavy crowns. Additionally, she was the first recipient of the YouTube Visionary Award in 2008, paving the way for digital trendsetting long before TikTok entered the conversation. Whether meeting with world leaders or advocating for the rights of young Jordanians, Queen Rania has established herself as a progressive and modern royal. Although the precise details of her personal fortune are unclear, there's no denying she leads a life many could only dream of, all while striving to make the world a bit better. If that's not a powerful combination, then what is? Lastly, but certainly not least, there's Queen Sulia, whose life epitomizes opulence and influence. As the wife of Sultan Hassan al-Bolkiah of Brunei, she's more than just married to royalty. She embodies royalty itself, residing in a world of extravagant jewels and overseeing a lifestyle that makes immense wealth seem like an understatement. Determining her exact net worth is as challenging as balancing a crown atop a juggling unicycle. But her connection to the Sultan's vast $30 billion fortune guarantees a life of unmatched opulence. Born as Pangeran Anaxelia on March 27, 1946, she holds the distinction of being the Sultan's first cousin, a testament to Brunei's fondness for keeping family ties exceptionally close. Upon her husband's ascension to the throne, Celia assumed the title of Raja Isteri, or Queen Consort, following in the footsteps of her mother-in-law. Residing in Istana and Nurul Aman, the Sultan's palace, she enjoys all the benefits of a property featuring a staggering 1,788 rooms, 257 bathrooms, and a banquet hall that could accommodate a small nation. This $1.4 billion residence is lavishly adorned with gold, marble, and enough chandeliers to make even Liberace envious. The palace houses a mosque that fits 1,500 worshippers, includes stables for 200 polo ponies, and boasts a Renoir masterpiece purchased by the Sultan in the 1980s for a cool $70 million. When critics hinted the palace might be a tad extravagant, he responded by constructing another one. The Sultan's extravagant lifestyle is well known, showcased by his collection of over 7,000 luxury cars, including 600 Rolls-Royces. In contrast, Queen Celia exudes a quiet dignity, likely managing her daily affairs in a wardrobe large enough to dwarf most city apartments. Despite Brunei's legal embrace of polygamy, Celia retains her esteemed position as Queen Consort. However, life isn't solely about crowns and high society gatherings. Queen Celia is widely recognized for her dedication to philanthropic endeavors, with a particular focus on initiatives supporting the well-being of women and children. Additionally, she has gained prominence for her astute investment choices. While the exact value of Queen Celia's personal wealth remains a mystery, it's clear that she is more than comfortable financially. Her life is a seamless blend of unparalleled luxury and a commitment to fulfilling her royal duties. As long as Brunei's oil reserves continue to prosper, Queen Celia's reign of elegance is unlikely to experience any financial constraints. That wraps up our look at some of the wealthiest wives worldwide. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoy our content, don't forget to check out our latest videos.